Hello, everybody. I don't know who needs to hear this, but this morning the story is lingering in my mind. The point of this video is don't let anyone dim your light. Your ancestors, that thing, that magical thing that runs in your veins, that carries all the history of you, don't want you to do it. The story, I'm going to call it Consomme, and I can't even begin to make my coffee until I tell you the story. When I first started dating my husband, he did what any guy would do, and he took me to have dinner with his family. I was very nervous. I was 26 years old, but I was very, very nervous. And we get to his family's house, and I don't remember exactly, but the conversation went into like a broth. Now I'm dealing with Puerto Ricans, I'm Venezuelan, and I remember saying, "Oh, un consommé," and everybody looked at me, and I'm like, "What? Consommé?" And basically the argument was that that was not a consommé, it was a caldo and whatever, whatever. I lost the argument, of course. I was not about to argue. I wanted his family to love me, to think that I was just so good for their cousin, nephew, whatever. When we get home, or when he drives me home, or when we're alone, he tells me, "Well, my family thought that you were come mierda." And I'm like, "Why?" "Because you said consomme." And I'm like I still didn't get it. Like, that's the word. The word is consomme. Remember, I'm Venezuelan, and in Venezuela we have two main words, actually three. So we have consomme, we have caldo, we have sopa. There are three different things. I had to clarify that. Actually, I clarified this last year, and I'm going to tell you the difference. But that's not the point yet. The point is that I wanted the family to like me, Yvonne. And they felt that because I had said, or the way I said consomme, that I was too uppity using all these words and the way that I had said it. So, what I began to do is to dumb my vocabulary down. I remember for a long time, years, I used to subscribe to an email that would come to my inbox to give me a vocabulary word of the day. But it wasn't just to me. I had friends who were poets and just friends who like to learn. And we were using really big words, and we learned how to use it because that was our job. We would call each other, we would email each other. I don't think I had a cell phone at that time, no. So we would be calling, we would be emailing, we would be instant messaging from AOL, and we would be telling each other the word of the day, and we would use it until we figured out, oh, this is the perfect context for it. I was never able to do that again. I made sure that my language stayed very, I dumbed it down, not only with his family, but for everyone else, because I always wanted to be liked and to feel down to earth. So I'm going to talk more common, average words in my mind. This is what I'm saying. Looking back this morning as I was literally brushing my teeth and putting something in my hair to look semi decent before taking my little one to school, I wanted to let you know no one should make you feel like you need to dumb yourself down, to dull your light. That should have been a clue to me in the beginning that this was not going to work. They still made fun of me for years on Consomme, and I took it. I took it, and I felt really bad for years. They're like, you remember consome? Esa come mierda. But yeah, you've gotten better over time. And I'm like, it should make me feel better to have gotten you've gotten better over time. You don't talk like that anymore. Like an air that you're better than someone. I never felt that I was better than anybody. I've always had this thing as I'm not enough. So imagine that. And things that I like vocabulary. Stupid, but I like vocabulary. I'm a nerd. What can I say? I thought about this. Whenever you're starting in this tradition, you're going to find especially in Lukumi, and in Lukumi, you're going to start figuring out who your eguns are. Not just your blood, but the spirits, the guiding spirits that help your spiritual frame. What if you have a doctor? What are you going to do? What if you have a teacher? You could have anybody who could have done anything in life. And it's like they're going to be looking at you like, but why are you dumbing who you are? Like, be the best that you can. Like, sit a little taller. Be who you can be. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but I cannot even finish taking my vitamins until I tell it to you. Your eguns want you to be your best. So if your best is using big words, use them. If your best is working out every day and having a slamming body, do it. Do what you feel it is best for you. Don't let anyone make fun of what is important to you, especially as you're starting to feel better. Don't let anyone dull your light. Now, remember I told you guys that I'm going to tell you what is the difference. So, here you go. Now, this has been verified, so whoever wants to call me a come mierda, sorry, whatever. Consommé is a clear broth. There's no little thingies, so it's a strained broth. There's nothing. A caldo has little things in it. Maybe little pieces of meat, maybe some of the vegetables like the onions, the whatever. That's a caldo. It's not even as thick as like a stew, of course. So that's the caldo. So these are the 3 steps. And a sopa is where, like a soup, is where all the chicken, beef, meat, vegetables, all that stuff is in it, and all that goodness is all meshed up and it's all in a plate. So caldo has some remnants of maybe, the onions that you cut and all that stuff. So it's not as clear. A consommé. Yes, and I'm going to say it. A consommé is basically a clear broth. There's no little nothings in there. And sopa, now you know what that is. A stew is totally different. We're not covering that. But I don't know who needs to hear it, but I'm going to post this because it's not letting me function. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If this is if you like it, like this episode, what do you think about it? Have you ever been through an experience like that? I'd love to hear that in the comments. Yeah.